Welcome back, everyone, to the Bowling Promotion 2022 Strike Tour Series. Today we bring you the second of 9 Baker matches and the second match for Division 1 of our team series. It will be Team France coming off a loss to Team Sirius against Team Mercury. And let's introduce Team Mercury. It's Halvard Hagen Nielsen, the captain from Norway, Dennis Grunheid from Germany, Santiago Mejia from Colombia, and Manuel Otalora also from Colombia. We saw Jamie Gonzalez from Colombia in Team Sirius. They'll be facing off against Team France, Enzo Franco, Valentine Saulnier, the captain, Manon Grancière, the talented lady, and Enzo Bergamino. And again, this is the second of 9 matches we'll be bringing you. It is Baker competition. Each team receives 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie, and 0 points for a loss. My name's Bruce Hall, and I'm your international voice for these team series matches. Here you see Marc Chavet and Bruno Bedone offering the French call. Marc, of course, a personality in France and the voice of the Tour de France, and Bruno Bedone, our promoter and organizer of the Strike Tour Series. So let's kick things off. Here is Halvard Hagen Nielsen. He's going to take the first shot on the left lane. Once again, Baker competition. Each bowler bowls 1 frame, and we cycle through the team. And interesting how we have 10 frames and only 4 bowlers. We'll talk about that in a minute. Halvard throws that shot out. That is a 3D offset. Doesn't quite make the turn. He liked the shot, but unfortunately it does not have a lot of power going through the pins. You can see how it goes long. We need a little sharper break point there, almost a paralyzer 5, and ends up leaving the 10 pin. Halvard, a very talented player. You can see him all through Europe in different competitions. He was over in the US earlier this year, teaming with Christopher Viali and some other folks in some competitions here. So Halvard, quite the experienced international player, and should make quick work of this 10 pin, no problem there. And now Team France, who was on the left lane in the last match, will move over to the right lane, and let's see how they do. Once again, Team Sirius making quick work of the back half of that game. The game was basically tied after 5 frames within a couple of pins, and then Team Sirius, featuring Liz Johnson, basically struck out from the 5th to shoot 257. So let's see how Team France does on this right lane. And we will start off with Enzo Franco. The young team is the French team, age 21, Enzo. And here's his shot over the 3rd arrow, a little bit right, maybe a hair fast. Comes up for a 10 pin, and the messenger could not get the job done. So this will be a 9 spare, most likely, for the French team. Once again, we will bring you all these Division 1 matches, followed by the Division 2 matches. Each team bowls each other team once in their division. Then the top 2 teams will face off for division championships. Then the 2 division champs will face off for the championships of the team series. And wow, I thought Enzo turned away a little quickly on that 10 pin. He didn't make it by as much as I think he thought he did, but he does end up covering the 10 pin. Now we will see the left-hander Dennis Grunheid from Germany, and let's see how he plays this oil pattern. It is Brunswick's Gateway Arch oil pattern, and it offers 9-to-1 ratio, so there's a fair bit of ratio in the middle of the lane, plenty of hold, and most bowlers therefore are pretty deep, working the center of the lane and throwing it out to the dry. And of course there is a little bit of a high hit for Dennis. I think that ball read very early. Let's see if we can see where that ball crossed and where it read too early. And he's, looks like right around, almost just outside the 3rd arrow, but look at it read in the mid lane. Turned up very, very soon, earlier than he expected. And Gateway Arch, of course, a 42-foot pattern. That too will drive people inside to play the inside line and use the hold more than you use the swing. So the rule of thumb is if you have a short pattern, you look for dry boards to throw to. If you have a longer pattern, you generally look for hold to try to get the ball to lay off in the pocket. And now our first look at Valentine Saulnier. And we have all 9s so far in this match. And let's see if Valentine can break that string. That is a reality check ball from 900 Global. He's got the pin down, so that ball is looking for it to roll a little bit sooner on the lane. And makes a very nice shot over a third arrow, and dead flush for our first strike of the match, giving Team France a huge 1-pin lead after 2 frames. Now back to Team Mercury. Here is Santiago Mejia. Let's see how Santiago attacks this oil pattern. And again, you can see the pin down layout on Santiago's ball. He's looking for the ball to roll early and not go too far down the lane. Very common approach to wet-dry conditions, and a beautiful shot out over the third arrow. Lots of revs, lots of forward motion, and a dead flush strike for Santiago. And great shot there. He likes it. And look at those eyes focused on the shot. That crossed around 16 board out to maybe 8. And that is pretty much picture perfect line for the Gateway Arch pattern. Now our first look today at Manon Grancière. Manon was pretty deadly in the doubles with teammate Valentine. And she's also was very strong in the singles step ladder in our competition last year. Of course, that won by Daria Payok. And that's out around 12 board, and it makes the corner look like it was a little bit right heading out to the pattern, but it makes the corner very hard. Look at this break at the end. That gets out to about the 7th board. Look at this turn left. A lot of power through the pins there. Great shot. And a double for Team France. So they have taken the 11-pin lead early on. And let's see if Manuel Otalora can match Team France's double here. So again, these competitions take place in the last couple of weeks of September. And a wonderful trip and beautiful shot there by Manuel. And that was picture perfect. Watch this once again. 12 board, maybe a little bit inside of his teammate's shot, but it makes the turn and comes up. And perfect strike in the pocket. So now our first look at Enzo Bergamino. And again, when you have 4 players and you have 10 frames, it means the first 2 players will bowl actually 3 frames in the match. And Enzo, beautiful shot there. They look like an IQ tour. Kind of straight up the pattern. And look at those eyes. He likes it. He likes it. And let's see where this ball crosses. That, once again, right around 14, 13. You can see everybody playing almost in exactly the same place on the lane, because that's where the pattern dictates that you play. Now a triple for Team France. And once again, they maintain their 11-pin lead. Let's see if Alvar can strike here. Once again, that 3D offset. One of the weaker balls on the rack for this competition. Let's see if he can get it to behave playing deep on this pattern. And a good shot, gets it out a little bit right, and it makes the corner up for a 4-pin. And that's pretty much the bowler's worst nightmare when you've got a shot light for a 10-pin and even a paralyzer 5. Now, of course, he moved right, catches the dry, and it comes up for a 4-pin. Very easy to call from the sidelines here in the armchair quarterback. But the move might be to a little bit stronger equipment to get a little bit better read so he can stay in the pattern. He doesn't have to move right and flirt with that extreme dry on the outside. So Alvar looking at 9 spare here. And that will give a 12-pin lead to Team France. And let's see if they can keep their string alive. And no problem with the 4-pin for Halvar. It'll be interesting to see if he makes a ball change. Now, Halvar is the anchor bowler by virtue of him bowling 2nd overall. He bowls the 2nd, 6th, and 10th frames. And now, back to the top of the order, Here is Enzo Franco. Enzo had that messenger 10-pin first shot. Let's see how he does here. Let's see if he makes any moves. And it's nice that there's a pattern that the pocket is relatively accessible. That looks like an infinite physics for Enzo, which is a ball that has a great backhand. Look at it turn up and strike for him. 4 in a row now for Team France. They are running away with this at this point, enjoying a 32-pin lead now. Excuse me, 22-pin lead after 5. And look at that turn up. Yeah, the physics line has probably, in my experience, the most motion down lane. That weight block is very active and animated, and every physics that I've ever drilled or seen has wonderful motion down lane. And now the lefty came up high first time. Let's see if Dennis makes the move. And he gets the trip 6. That's a lefty's best friend right there. And makes the move left. He's definitely right with his feet. And he gets it down the oil, and it comes up and trips the 6. Thank you very much. A much-needed strike for Team Mercury. And Team Mercury now maximum 258. And France can go out for 290. So I would strongly advise Team Mercury to put some more strikes on the board here. And now, Valentin, the captain, he'll bowl this frame, the 6th and the 10th. Let's see how he does. Got that way out, but it turns hard through the pocket and up for a 4-pin. Boy, I think he liked that shot, and I think the pin down nature of that reality check, it says it wasn't supposed to flip that hard, but it came very hard off the pattern and up for a 4-pin. And of course, this French team, Enzo Franco, age 21, Valentin, 27, Manon, age 20, Enzo Bergamino, age 22. So a lot of youth on this French team. And it's exciting that the Strike Tour Series is a special event organized by Bowling Promotion for the French Federation and the French Olympic Sports Channel for the promotion of bowling in general and the French team specifically. So Bruno doing a great job promoting bowling in France and in the European region. So great to see this type of competition, and he's got some great momentum behind it every year. He's been fielding a very, very strong slate of players. And here is the Colombian, comes up late, and how about a ringing 10, but also the 7-pin. That is a terrible break for Santiago. He threw a great shot, and he's looking at this and he's saying, what? How does that even happen? The ball came a little bit late into the pocket. Okay, I'll give you the ring 10, but how do you also leave the 7 with it? And he goes up and has no choice but to just get the 10. And boy, that was a terrible break for Team Mercury. And given where Team France is now, could represent some serious trouble. 60, 90, 226 now, the max for Team Mercury, where Team France already pacing to 229 if they don't even double again. And there's another infinite physics. Okay, that can explain Manon's first shot, that she got out to the right, and that ball made a very sharp turn through the pocket on her first shot. Let's see what she can do here. And a little bit late for a 10-pin. And once again, 22-pin lead for Team Mercury. Actually, that's a 32-pin lead now with the open. So that's, again, right over 12. It's almost in the same place. Just makes the turn a little bit late. And look at the 6 wrap around the 10. That was, if that was maybe a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch higher, that 6 does the job and kicks that 10 out. So very, very close is Manon to perfection here. And again, she switches to the spare ball. Highly recommended for cross lane spares. And gets through it, and hanging off the edge. She says, no problem. What were you all worried about? That was definitely going to make it. So we'd urge you to stick around after this match. Mark Chavet will be interviewing Halvar Hagen-Nielsen and Valentine Saulnier. And it is very impressive just to hear Mark's American accent. I hear his French. It sounds perfect. Not that I would know very well, but then I hear his American accent. It sounds like he's from New England. So it sounds perfect. And there's a great shot by Manuel. And of course, that strikes. Whereas if his teammate had gotten the break that he probably deserved, Team Mercury's right back in this match. But unfortunately, that 7-10 took the wind right out of their sails. We've only got 2 frames left here. And Team Mercury with a 30. Excuse me, Team France with the 32 in lead and looking very strong. This will be Enzo Belgamino's last shot, and he goes ring 10, and that's fine. If the French team just stays clean, they will put away this match because they are pacing to 228, and the most that Team Mercury can shoot is 226. So just as long as we don't see any opens here, there should be a low drama victory for Team France. And very nice cover there of the 10 pin. Team Mercury absolutely must strike in their 9th frame. And here's a view of the Gateway Arch oil pattern. Gives you a sense of the pattern volume, 26 mils, 42 feet long. Difficulty low for sure, and that's a good thing. We want to see the pocket relatively accessible and fairly high ratios. And you see everyone working the center of the lane again with the length of the pattern. Now, Halvar staying with that 3D offset. Let's see if he can get it to behave the right way here and double, throw an essential double as we move into the 10th. And interesting, Dennis Gronheide, the lefty, will finish things off for Team Mercury. And threw that well, and again, high for another 4-pin. I think that 3D offset is letting Halvar down. Such a talented player. I think he just needs a little bit stronger equipment to be able to move into that pattern and let it react a little bit better. And now that knocks 20 pins off the max score for Team Mercury, and Team France already pacing at 220 with even 2 opens now would pretty much be enough for Team France. So tough game, and especially Halvar struggling to actually knock all the pins down, to get the ball to go through the pins the right way, as we say. And no problem on the spare there. Once again, Bruce Hall with you. I'm your international voice for this great competition organized and promoted by Bruno Bedone and the Bowling Promotion Tour. We'll have 7 more of these Baker matches for you. If you could subscribe on this YouTube channel, you'll be notified when new events come out. We have the French versions that come out first, and then the international version comes out a few days after that. So we get on a nice pace here. Once again, we'll have another look at this infinite physics. Enzo, and a beautiful shot there, no doubt about that one, and that will officially do it, putting Team France in at least the 2 teens, with Team Mercury maxing out at 206. So a good hard-fought battle by Team Mercury, but struggling to put the string of strikes together that they needed to keep up with Team France. And Team France really riding that 4-bagger. They went spare 4-bagger, and that's been the difference in the match. And here's Dennis. Can he strike again? He's deep, and that goes high on him, but he gets the Jersey squasher, as we call it. And again, he's seeing a lot of reaction in that mid lane. Now watch this. He gets over 13 board, 14 board, and look at that mid lane, same as he had on his very first shot. And he moved a little bit, was able to get it down the lane. Now all of a sudden it hooks again. So in the next match, he's going to have to find a way to get that break point later down the lane. He might need to move 2 or 3 literally right with his feet, get deeper in the oil. Looks like he's got plenty of surface on the ball, so should be able to make that adjustment. And there it is right there. He blows the rack. Wow, that's an amazing blower 10 right there. Thank you very little. And that will be with a spare 196 for the Team Mercury. He did make the move, and the ball seemed to go down. Now maybe it went a little too long and didn't come in right at the right time. So both he and Halvar struggling to find the right break point, the right reaction on the lane. See what they do in the next match. So it will be Team Mercury against Team Sirius. That will be the third of the 3 matches where each of the teams bowl each other. And France will now tie Team Sirius with 3 points each. And it will be up to Team Mercury to try to beat Team Sirius. Then all 3 teams will have 3 points, and the tiebreaker will be, of course, score. So it will be a high game. So here's Valentin once again in the 10th, and a beautiful shot there. Bowling anchor. That's going to put them in the 230s. One more for 240s. And watch this really. Look at that beautiful arm swing, and look at where that hand is at the bottom. If you picture a clock facing the lane, he's down at around 7 o'clock with his fingers and 1 o'clock with his thumb. The perfect ideal inside out position, and gives the ball a very, very strong forward roll. And Valentin, everything in the right place, looking very strong. And once again, that one got maybe a little slow, comes up high, and they will be 235 if they make this. And a good showing for Team France. So Team Sirius with 3 points, Team France with 3 points. Let's see what happens in the Team Mercury versus Team Sirius match. It will be very, very interesting to see if we end up with a 3-way tie. And can he cover? He does. So mark it for 234 for the French team. Thanks, everyone. We will be back with the next match on this channel. And again, stay tuned for the interview with Mark Chevet with Halvar Helgen Nilsson and Valentin Saulnier. We'll have the shaking of the hands and a couple of some stats here. 5 strikes for Mercury and 5 spares, 1 open. 6 strikes and 5 spares for Team France. 234 to 196 victory for Team France. Thanks again for tuning in. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. You'll be notified of new matches as they come out. Once again, Bruce Hall here, your international voice for this competition, and we'll see you in the next telecast.
Le match numéro 2, la victoire de l'équipe de France numéro 1, ça y est, c'est fait pour les Français. Moi, je suis du côté donc de la Team Mercury maintenant avec le capitaine de l'équipe, Halvar. Just a quick reaction. Obviously, it was a difficult start to the tournament, but now the pressure is going to be on. You're in a must-win situation for the next match, and you're going to have to win convincingly as well.
Yeah, we have to keep up our game. This was, as you say, our first match on TV. We might have been a bit tense to do the good shot. And we didn't really have the carry that could have been if we had relaxed more and rolled the balls a bit better. So we're going to do our best and fight for the win.
Voilà, on nous explique tout simplement que c'est le premier match télévisé, donc il y a une certaine pression qui est associée à cela. On avait peut-être un peu de... Il fallait qu'on prenne la température et qu'on s'imbibe un petit peu de l'ambiance pour trouver le geste parfait, notamment sur le lâcher de boule. On va évidemment s'atteler pour essayer de parfaire tout ça, qu'on soit dans les bonnes conditions pour le match d'après. It's also history in the making, the very first edition of the Strike Tour, the team format with the Baker system on European soil. I mean, this is bowling history that we're writing all together, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a brand new concept that we're doing here in Europe. It's similar to the PBA league in some sense, and now we're bringing it to Europe. So it's a good development, I think.
Voilà, effectivement, c'est un système analogue à ce qu'on peut retrouver du côté de la PBA par équipe en Amérique du Nord. C'est quelque chose d'intéressant pour notre sport sur le continent européen. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing more of you. Thank you. Avec Valentin Saulnier pour l'équipe de France numéro 1, cette fois-ci en position de numéro 1, puisque l'équipe de France a trouvé le chemin de la victoire. Deuxième match, une belle victoire de surcroît. Là, on va pouvoir aborder ce troisième match de façon avec un peu plus de confiance.
Clairement, on a réajusté, on a aussi bien analysé la piste 6 qui était un petit peu différente et on a déroulé. Les autres ont eu un petit peu de malchance, mais on a profité, on a gardé notre avantage. Maintenant, on va croiser les doigts pour que le sort soit favorable pour nous sur le match d'après, mais j'ai beaucoup d'espoir là-dessus. Et puis comme ça, on va pouvoir aborder les demi-finales de manière très positive.
De manière très positive, il y a eu une séquence très émouvante durant ce match où il y a eu une succession de strikes comme cela. Vous avez enchaîné 4 strikes d'affilée, c'était absolument magique. Est-ce qu'on peut imaginer que vous êtes en capacité de réitérer cela sur le prochain match?
En tant que capitaine, je sentais qu'il fallait donner l'impulsion sur ça. Et je pense qu'il y avait deux ou trois de mes joueurs qui étaient un petit peu dans le doute après le premier match perdu. Et il fallait impulser ça. Et ça c'était bien de créer ça et de vivre ça maintenant.
Merci beaucoup Valentin, on a hâte de vous retrouver pour la suite. Merci.